Hello and welcome to your practice today. So today it's actually May 14th today when I'm recording this, which is why there's not a lot of leaves on the trees right now, but it's just an amazingly gorgeous summery kind of day. You're going to be viewing this at the end of May. But today's practice is about energizing the body. And so there's a few ways of doing that, and using the inhale breath is one of the very effective way of increasing energy, prana, life force in the body. And the other is through twists and back bends, front body openers. So that's what we're going to be working on today, and we're keeping this at 30 minutes so that you can fit this into your day at any point when you need a little pick-me-up, a little lift. So we are actually going to start in standing, and if you are lucky enough to be outside to practice, even better. But we're going to start, first of all, hand on heart and on belly, and just a few breaths of belly breath. Breathing into your belly so that the hand that's on your belly expands, lifts, moves away from your spine as you inhale. And as you exhale, ground into the earth or the solid surface beneath you. Just take 3 breaths like this. And bringing your awareness to the inhale. And how the air pours into your body with reciprocity and exhales back out. That give and take with the atmosphere around you, that give and take with all the trees and plants around you. And now we're going to begin to add some hand movements in with our breath. So staying with that breath as we inhale, we're going to slowly lift the arms up to the sky and rise up on your toes. And as you exhale, bring the heels down, bring the arms down. So let's do that about 4 more times. So inhaling up, and I have a real issue with my ankles. So this is really good for strengthening the ankles and opening up the feet as well. And keep moving with your inhale breath, we rise up. If you're able, maybe you look up and bring your heels down with the exhale. Keep moving 3 more. Inhale, lifting up, and anytime we lift our gaze, lift our arms, rise up, we're also lifting our energy. 2 more. Inhale up. And exhaling down. Maybe you add a little pause at the top of your inhale if that's comfortable for you. Wonderful. And now just let go of that. Come into your ujjayi breath, which is that gentle restriction at the back of the throat. We're going to move through some sun salutations. I'm actually going to turn and face the sun, if my uneven ground here allows that. So we're going to add lunges into our sun salutations as well. So if you want blocks, have your blocks handy. Let's inhale, reach up to the sky. Look up as you lengthen up. That helps with that uplifting energy. And as you exhale, we bow forward, belly draws in. Inhale, lift the heart and lengthen the spine, hands either to your shin, your blocks, or fingertips to the floor. And as we exhale, let's step the right foot back, coming into a lunge. So you can have your hands on blocks here, if you wish. And for this first round, let's slide and glide a little bit and get into some feeling in the feet, in the hips, in the hip flexors. And then let's drop that back knee and inhale, reach up to the sky. And exhale, slowly bring the hands back down to the earth. Let's lift the back knee, step forward with that right foot. Inhale, lift halfway. Exhale, let's step the left foot back. And let's do that same slide and glide motion on our second side. See what you're feeling. Take a little inventory here, what you're feeling. Remember, your hands can be on blocks. And then let's go ahead, exhale, drop that knee down, and inhale, reach up to the sky. Lifting your gaze if you feel steady, and really lengthening up through the elbows And exhale, hands come down. Let's lift that back knee, this time stepping back, downward facing dog. So this is our first downward facing dog. Take a moment to walk your dog out, sway from side to side, bend the knees, stay high on the toes, lift the hips. I always like to turn my feet to the side and get into that side body tension. You can do the same. And then coming back to center, we're going to come forward to plank pose on an inhale. So let's just pause and plank for a couple of breaths. This helps to energize us as we begin to build some heat in the body. And if you want to slide and glide in your plank, go ahead and do so. And then on your next exhale, we're going to lower down, and you can lower down knees, chin, chest. You can also lower down with chaturanga if you wish, but we're all going to meet on your belly. And as you come down to your belly, lengthen your feet. I hope I'm in the frame. Yep. And let's just rise up into cobra pose. Elbows are close in, shoulders away from the ears. Slowly exhale, come back down. Let's stay here. Bring the arms wide, fingertips, as though there's a cupcake under the palm of your hand that you're trying not to squash. Elbows up to the sky. As we inhale, rise up in this variation of cobra. Exhale, release down. Stay here for one more variation. Arms are wide this time, palms facing down. Lengthen through the feet. Inhale, rise your cobra, lift your wings, maybe lift your feet if you're ready for that. Stay for one more inhale. Use your exhale to release down. Press up and back, child's pose. Let your forehead rest either on your mat, the earth, or your block if you have a block. I'm not going to come completely into child's pose because it messes with my microphone while I'm talking. But breathe into your back body in your child's pose. So really fill the back body with breath here. And then use your inhale to rise, tabletop. Exhale, downward facing dog. Now, let's do a little bit of a half inversion here in our down dog. You can do this in tabletop or dolphin as well. As you inhale, let's raise that left leg up to the sky in three-legged dog and really rise up high on your toes. Press your mat away from you. Stay here for a breath and get long. And then as we exhale, we're going to step that foot between our hands. So draw the knee, the thigh in. Step wide if you need to, or step inside. So we're back into our lunge position here. Take an inhale, and as you exhale, drop the back knee. And then bring your hands to your front thigh. Fingers are intertwined. And as you inhale, press away, look up. Straighten your arms as you press away. Exhale, release. We did some of this last week. We're going to do the same thing. Intertwine your fingers, thumbs to your temples. Lift your gaze. Stretch the palms up to the sky. Invite a back bend if you feel ready, not forcing. Breathe in that beautiful air. I have a beautiful view here of fresh green leaves emerging against a blue sky. And then let's exhale, hands come down. Let's step back into downward facing dog. Let's move to our right leg now. So right leg floats up in three-legged dog. And again, you can be in dolphin. You can be in tabletop. So really lengthen up as you rise up on your left toes. And as you exhale, let's step it up either wide or between your hands, however helps you get into your lunge. And then use an exhale to drop that back knee. Let's bring palms intertwined to the front thigh. Inhale, press the thigh away as you straighten your arms. Maybe lift the gaze, but keep the belly contained so you're not pressing and compressing into your low back. And then release. And then intertwining the fingers, just use our thumbs to help lift our gaze up, elbows wide. Press the palms up to the sky. Breathe, let the breath pour into your heart center here. And open your eyes and look up. See what you see depending where you're practicing. I wish you could see my view here. One more breath. And release. Lift the back knee. Let's step forward into our Uttanasana, forward fold. Inhale to lengthen. Exhale, we bow. Inhale, we rise up. Reach up to the sky. Look up. Beautiful sky. And exhale into your heart center. If you have the opportunity to be doing this practice outside, just being in the outdoors before we even start our movement is energizing. It helps us to release the stale, old energy and draw new energy from all around us in nature. So let's continue with some lunges here, beginning to really open through that front body and hip flexors. Inhale, reach to the sky, look up. Exhale, we fold. Inhale, let's step the right foot back. And we're rising into crescent moon. So we're staying high on those back toes. And you could do a little bit of a bounce, a little bit of a rock here. And then inhale, reach up to the sky. If this doesn't work for you, you can also have your hands on your hips, thumbs towards your spine, elbows back, and lifting the heart in this manner. And if reaching up works, go ahead and do that. Take what works for your body. Take one more breath here, and then we're going to release the left hand down. So your left hand can be on hip, on your thigh, or at the small of your back. And we're going to side bend over to your left. So right arm is reaching up and over. I saw the moon last night. It was this beautiful sliver of a crescent. We're probably at a full moon when you're watching it or very near it. Take one more breath here, really breathe into that side body and come back up, reach both arms up, and then through your heart center, hands come down. Step forward into Uttanasana. Inhale, lengthen your heart forward. Exhale, fold. Let's step left foot back. Go through that same short little sequence. So we're rising in crescent moon, we're up on those back toes, reaching up to the sky. Lifting the gaze if you feel steady to lift your gaze. And then we're releasing right hand down this time. So it might be to your thigh to help steady you, it might be to your hip, or it might come to the small of your back. But we're side bending over to the right. Left arm's reaching over to the right. And keep extending that heel, the back heel back behind you. One more breath here. Imagining that silver crescent of a moon shape on your body, even though it's not a crescent when you're watching this. And then let's come back. Release both hands up. I almost forgot. Let's exhale our hands down to the mat. Step back, downward facing dog. Let's take a flow down to the mat. We're going to repeat that same sequence of back bends that we did the first round. So again, you can lower through chaturanga if that's your thing, or knees, chin, chest, but we're all going to meet on our bellies. So extend the legs long. Let's start with our cobra. Pressing the feet down, we rise up into our cobra. And as we exhale, we float it down. Arms come wide, fingertips down, elbows bent, elbows point to the sky. Inhale, roll up into your cobra variation, extending through the legs, so legs are active. Exhale, roll back down. This time bird wings, palms facing the floor, reach, extend. Really extend through your toes, get so long through your legs that they float up as well. Stay for one more breath. Use your exhale to release down. Press up and back, child's pose. Breathe into your back body here, release. And then instead of flowing back up, we're going to come forward once again, coming into Sphinx pose from your child's pose. So elbows are under your shoulders or slightly ahead if you need a little more space. And then we're going to release down for either Salabhasana or bow pose. So Salabhasana, you reach the arms back, palms facing one another, or I'm not sure if you can see, intertwining your fingers and reaching the knuckles towards the knees, floating the legs up, or coming into bow pose by grabbing the ankles, knees come toward one another, kick the ankles away, and lift up. Really energizing pose. I love to do this pose when I'm feeling a bit stiff and low on energy because it instantly brings energy into the heart center, into the belly. I have a mosquito right in front of my face. Take one more breath here. Let the breath pour into the heart center. And exhale. Release down. Don't slingshot your legs. Let them come down slow and controlled. And when you're ready, press back to child's pose. Use your next inhale breath to come up to downward facing dog and lengthen through your spine. Take a couple breaths in down dog, or if it's more suitable for you, take a few more breaths in child's pose. And really, the focus is on your inhale breath where we lengthen through the spine, because we really want to find that length in the spine after we do back bends. Take one more breath here, and as you exhale, step, walk, or float to the top of your mat, however it works for you to get there. And then inhale, lengthen the heart forward, lengthen the spine from sit bones to crown. Exhale, bow. Inhale, circle wide and rise up to the sky. Draw into your heart center. Take a moment's pause in your mountain pose just to take inventory of all the energy you feel flowing. And you can even close your eyes as you do so, just to really feel into your internal landscape. And then let's continue with our flow. Actually, we're going to move into Warrior One, standing from mountain pose. So start at the top of your mat, bend your knees, and simply step the right foot back for Warrior One. So Warrior One, your foot's at a 45-degree angle. And then let's inhale, both arms up to the sky. Bring your fingertips to touch, so hopefully you can see. I've got space between my palms. It's low. I have my hands around a globe that allows us to have space for new energy. So that inner thigh is pressing back. The front knee is bending. Pelvis is trying to remain as upright as we can. If you can lift your gaze and maintain your balance, lift your gaze. Lengthen from your heart center up to the sky. Take one more breath here like this. And then we're going to open the arms wide, palms facing the sky, elbows slightly bent. We're going to move through 3 breaths here and allow or invite a short retention of the inhale at the top of your breath if it feels comfortable for you. So inhaling, lift the heart. Pause. Exhale through your nose, belly draws in. 2 more breaths just like that. Inhaling. Pausing, retaining, feeling that prana in your heart center. Slowly exhale through your nose. Last breath, inhaling. Pausing with a slight retention. And then slowly exhaling out your nose, belly draws in. Hands come to heart center. Let's open for Warrior Two. We're going to keep our Warrior Two little sequence short, but we just want to move through to open and release tension so that the energy can actually flow through our body as it's intended. So extending the arms, sinking that front hip, pressing that back foot down, and let's inhale into Peaceful Warrior. Make space for breath in that side body. I love Peaceful Warrior. I always have tension in my side body. This feels fantastic. I hope it does for you too. Let's exhale into side angle. And because we're doing a short practice, I'm just keeping forearm on my front knee. If you feel you want to bring your bottom hand to a block or to the earth, as long as you're not closing off as you do so, go ahead and take that variation. But let's really make space on that right side body here. And then your next breath, let's inhale up. And let's turn the toes to the long side of your mat. Open the heart. Couple of variations here before we forward fold. Intertwining your fingers and pressing the fists away from your sacrum, or thumbs to your sacrum. Inhaling, we open the heart. And exhaling, we fold forward. Whichever variation you're doing. On your inhale breath, we're going to lift halfway. So bringing the spine parallel to the floor. Exhale, bow down. 2 more times like that. Inhale, lengthen and lift. Press strongly into both feet. Lengthen the spine. Exhale, fold. 1 last time. Inhale, lengthen, and then bring your hands to your hips, or keep your fingers intertwined if you have that variation. Rise all the way up. Turn your toes back to the top of your mat. Hands come down. Let's step back, downward facing dog. So now you have a chance for a free flow of vinyasa. You might choose to stay in down dog or child's pose, or you might choose to flow through chaturanga and up dog if that's your thing, or move through cobra. But you get to choose which variation of back bend you do, and maybe pause for a couple of breaths in whichever variation you've chosen for that flow. Let's take a nice deep breath, lengthening the spine, lifting the hips off the waist in your down dog. And then use your next exhale breath to step, walk, or float to the top of your mat. Inhale, lengthen your spine. Lengthen. Exhale, fold. Inhale, press into the earth, rise up, reach up, lift your gaze, lengthen the spine, and draw through your heart center. Let's go ahead and move straight into our second side. Hands to your hips, bend the knees, step back, left foot. So we're moving into our warrior 1. So the inner thigh is pressing back, reaching up to the sky, touching the fingertips, allowing the palms to be open to receive. Take one more lengthening breath as you lift the heart, and then we part the arms, palms facing up, elbows slightly bent. So this is where we move into our breath retention. If you are able, I invite you. So as we inhale, we lift the heart. Pause at the top of the inhale, feel that presence and prana building. Slowly exhale, belly draws in. 2 more, inhale, pausing, and exhale. I really feel like I'm breathing in the trees here. Inhale. And exhale, and as we complete our exhale, hands come to your heart center. Let's open for warrior 2 on our second side. Extending the arms, pressing the back foot down. Finding length, finding opening, any tightness you might be feeling in hips and inner thighs. And use your next inhale for peaceful warrior. Lengthen, breathe into that right side body. 1 more breath. Create space. And then side angle. Forearm to the knee, as I'm doing. Or fingertips to the floor or to your block. And see if you can rotate your gaze up to the sky. And really bring your awareness to your inhale breath as you lengthen that left arm overhead, right by your ear. 1 more breath. And then press up. Let's turn toes to the long side of your mat. And whatever you did for the last forward fold, do the opposite. So if you did hands here, maybe you grab opposite elbows or intertwine fists. If you did fists, maybe you did this variation, just so that you switch it up a little bit. I'm going to do fists this time because I did hands on my hips last time. So lifting the heart, inviting a back bend, looking up, and then as we exhale, slowly, mindfully folding forward. Staying here for a breath or two. Sliding your shoulders away from the earth. And we're simply going to lead with the heart and rise up this time. Turn your toes to the top of your mat. Hands come down. Step back, downward facing dog. And from our down dog, you have an opportunity for one more vinyasa if you wish, or come down into child's pose. If you're taking the vinyasa, meet us in child's pose. I'll give you a chance to catch up if you're taking that opportunity for vinyasa. And then we're going to move in and out of child's pose in preparation for camel. So hands to your sacrum, back of your hands on your sacrum. As you inhale, rise up on your knees and reach up to the sky, look up. Really create as much length in the spine as you can. And as you exhale, we come back down into our starting position. Inhale, rise up, circle your arms wide, look up and lengthen. And exhale, come down. Each time our spine getting a little longer. Inhale, this time as we lengthen and rise up, we're staying up. And then taking the hand position for camel that you wish to take today. So you could have your hands guiding the tailbone down towards the earth. You can also have thumbs towards your spine, fingers wrapping around. I kind of like this variation, wrapping around your hips and drawing the elbows back and the shoulders down. You can curl your toes under. I'm going to curl my toes under because there's a chance that I might reach to my heels. I don't know. We'll see how my back feels today. Take whatever works for you. You might also have blocks here that you can reach your hands to for your camel. I don't have blocks in the forest, but you might have somewhere you're practicing. So let's all start by lengthening our heart center, our breastbone, like we're trying to reach it up to the sky, like that seedling reaching to the sun. Remember to draw the elbows back, the shoulders back, tailbones moving down. My view here is spectacular. I think I'm going to reach for my heels today and keep lifting the heart. I hope you have a beautiful view like I have today, of green leaves against a blue sky and white bark on the trees. Let your breath pour into the heart center here and fill you with prana, life force, energy. Take one more breath, and then using your abdominal muscles on your exhale to draw you up. Pausing here, hands at your heart center. You might release your your sit bones to your heels, or you might come straight into child's pose, whatever feels best for you in this moment. But close your eyes wherever you're at and just breathe in. Notice the sensations, the energy created in those last few poses. If you haven't taken child's pose, please do so now. And whenever your body feels ready, if you stay in child's pose for a few more breaths, go ahead and do so. And then we're going to meet in a seat. We're almost at our 30-minute mark. We're going to come into a twist before we wind down. Now, I'm going to do a seated twist. If you prefer to lie down on your back and move directly into a supine twist, that's okay too. So seated, I've got my right leg down, so my right knee is bent underneath me, but you can just as easily straighten that leg out in front of you with left leg crossed over. In any case, if you're doing the seated variation, wrap that right arm around. Lift up nice and tall. I like to take my other hand and drag my belly over with my left hand, dragging my belly over to the left as I extend my left arm out behind me. And that actually feels good. I'm going to do that one more time, just dragging all that flesh over to the left. And every exhale in our twist, our muscles are doing the same thing, exhaling, twisting all that belly to the left. Keep your chin parallel to the floor or the earth, wherever you're practicing. And then let's unwind back to center. Pause for an inhale. Exhale, counter twist to the other direction. Come back to center. We're going to switch it up. If you're seated, I'm just going to lean back, extend my feet up, and change legs. So now my left leg is the bottom leg, either straight or curled under you. Left arm wraps around that top knee, which is the right. Take your right hand. Drag that belly to the right as you extend your right arm out behind you. Keep drawing that leg in towards your belly. So we're getting some compression on the digestive organs as a little bonus in this practice. Taking one more breath here. And then using your exhale to unwind back to center. Pause in center for an inhale. And then a little exhale, counter twist to the opposite direction. And come back to center. One last pose. We're just getting over the 30-minute mark. Here's your options. You can move directly into a short shavasana. And I would set a timer so that you can stay in shavasana no less than 3 minutes for this 30-minute practice. But preferably 5 to 7 minutes, just so that all that energy we created in the practice can be absorbed by all of the cells. It's really important to take a shavasana. If you have a little bit more time, you could take a bridge pose before you move into shavasana, maybe a supine twist. I'll give you some options. But if you do bridge, we're not going to do it for long. Just moving into your bridge for one last heart opener here. And then slowly bringing it down, drawing knees into your chest. Maybe come into a short little twist here. I think I'm going to take that. Coming back to center. Short little twist in the other direction. Coming back to center. And then moving into your shavasana. As I said, set a timer so that you can stay the appropriate time and not worry about going too long, or not worry about not staying is probably a bigger problem for most people when you're practicing on your own. So enjoy your shavasana. Have a most wonderful day, and maybe do the meditation practice when you're done your shavasana, or maybe you do it later before bed or first thing in the morning. But make sure you do it. Namaste. Have a wonderful day. See you next week.